and welcome to Big Life Mindset, best life hacks and strategies so you love life more. My name is Eddie Rakanui, and this podcast is in the top 10% most shared worldwide on Spotify. I'm a leadership coach, and my client base include executives, business owners, entrepreneurs, and even winners of the Westpac Bank Innovation Awards. My coaching provides clarity of purpose, prevents burnout, and supports your mental health. This podcast, my coaching, my businesses, and every facet of my life, in fact, are all contributing towards my vision. My vision is to be a global phenom in helping people to love life more. Today's episode is one from our 5-minute coaching series. You'll hear from a collection of international business and life coaches, each with their unique take on the problems you face and how to solve them. The format is simple. In their 5-minute segment, each coach will introduce themselves, a bit about their coaching offering and how to reach them. But most importantly, they're going to use the bulk of that 5 minutes to share a problem statement and the solutions. That's right, folks. It's free coaching advice simplified. The order of coaches speaking is chosen at random, and I have no affiliation to them or their businesses. This series is all about sharing some of their value with you in the hope that you pick up one solution to help you live a life you love so you love life more. You're going to hear a short drum sequence at the end of each coach's segment, so stick around and make sure you can get as much of this free coaching advice as you can. Also, a shout out to our partners at Cerberus Strength. You can check out Cerberus Strength at cerberus-strength.co.nz for their latest merchandise and elite sports equipment. Finally, if you're considering investing in yourself or you want your company to support you with professional development, then you can email biglifemindset@gmail.com. That's biglifemindset@gmail.com. And in the subject header, write coffee chat. One of our team will pick that up, and we look forward to catching up with you soon. Awesome. Thanks so much, everybody. Can't wait to share some of this value add with you, and I look forward to hearing from you. Okay, bye for now. Fabulous. So our next guest coach is Shay Sparks. Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself, Shay?
Sure, Eddie. I am a energetic catalyst and fearless communicator. Now, I am also a certified fearless living coach and trainer. I am the CEO, Chief Excitement Officer of Sparks of Fire International. I am the co-founder of Firestarter's book project and the host of the Power of Investing in People podcast.
Wow, that sounds like you're busy. So would you like to share a little bit about the problem that you've identified and practical solutions that people can go to addressing that problem?
Absolutely. There is a epidemic, I will say that word, and this thing of I don't say what I mean to say. I use a lot of sarcasm. And I hide things in sarcasm. And really what sarcasm is anger in a clown suit. And so what we're doing is really not meaning what we say and not saying what we mean. So that's the problem I've identified is like all this fear shows up when we really have to be vulnerable and talk about what it is that we want to say. So the answer to that is really the advice I always give is really just write it out. Write out what you really want to say first and get it all down. Even getting the sarcasm out, because once you get it out of your brain and onto paper, sometimes the sarcasm goes away. And then you're able to have that more deep and meaningful conversation from a place that's more pure and from your heart rather than in your head, because that's where the sarcasm lives. It lives in your head, which is great. Don't get me wrong. It's fun and it's witty, but it doesn't always go in places that's a difficult conversation.
Wow, that's a really practical piece of advice that people could use. And I do like the fact that you've really isolated the fact that you can still manage your way through it. It's just managing in a slightly different way. So that's a really clever approach. So how can people, do you offer a coaching program? Have you got a book? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I am literally just launching this week a men's group coaching. It is called Spark Your Alpha, and it is about redefining and redesigning what alpha stands for. It is an acronym standing for awareness, leadership, purpose, hope, and alignment. And we do deep dives into the awareness piece for pretty much the half of the program. And then we go into building up our leadership skills, our leadership values, what purpose looks like, how our fear stops us, and how we can live more in hope. And then the alignment piece is when doors just automatically open.
Awesome. And how can people get in touch with you?
Thank you for asking. People can get in touch with me at my website at shaysparks.com, and all social media is Shay Sparks.
Nice and easy. I like that. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today, Shay. I really appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you.
Awesome. So our next guest coach is Nadine Zumwalt. Thanks for joining us, Nadine. Would you like to share a little bit about yourself?
Of course. Yeah. Thank you for having me, Eddie. My name is Nadine Zumwalt. I am a trauma-informed money coach, which pretty much is a fancy word of saying that I have a very holistic approach to money, which doesn't just touch on the financial side of it, but money as an energy, and also how our childhood wounding and our experiences, whether good or bad, might have an impact on the way that we use and deal with finances in adulthood, whether it's overspending or saving or investing or whatever it is. I believe that it has its roots in our childhood.
Oh, well, that's fascinating. So would you like to talk a little bit about a problem that you've identified and practical solutions that people can use to address or solve that problem?
Of course. So one of the most common problems that people come to me, and it's something very expected, is that we all overspend, right? And the traditional solution is more discipline or more strategy or to follow a budget or something like that. And then the next step would be, oh, why don't you do affirmations or look at your money mindset? But that's not the real cause. The way I look at it, or in the way I would like for people to start looking at it, as that overspending is a symptom of your inner wounding and the way that you look at money, and perhaps the way that you think about money and what it represents to you. So a practical solution is, it's not a very quick one, but to start asking yourself better questions, like, what does money represent? Why am I spending at the moment? What is happening in my life? Am I dissociating? Am I uncomfortable? Am I hungry? Am I angry? Am I thirsty? So taking a pause and asking yourself these questions will save you thousands of dollars.
Wow, that's something to look forward to. I think that's going to resonate very strongly. And so do you have a book out or a coaching program? What's one of your offerings?
So my offering at the moment, it's my most popular offer, is a 10-week coaching program called the Money Sanctuary. So in this program, it is a combination between a self-paced course and also monthly coaching sessions in a group where I teach you all you need to know about how you can shift your financial life from a place of disempowerment and perhaps confusion into financial freedom. So you will be guided to start healing your money blocks, because overspending is a money block. Not being able to save is a money block. All these money symptoms that we all talk about, I look at them from a perspective of a money block, not as a symptom, as a symptom, not as the problem itself, to go a little bit deeper. So you will be guided inside the Money Sanctuary to start healing these money blocks from the inside out rather from the outside in.
Fabulous. And how can people contact you?
So you can just Google my name, Nadine Zumwalt, or you can go on my website, which is www.saveamillioncents.com.
Oh, I love that. That's really cool. Nice and quirky. That's going to catch people's attention. Fabulous. Thank you so much for joining us, Nadine. Really appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
All good. Bye for now. Awesome. Our next guest is Jennifer Bogard. Thank you so much for joining us, Jennifer. Would you like to share a little bit about yourself?
Yes. Hi, Eddie. Thank you so much for having me. My name, as you said, is Jennifer Bogard. I am a life coach and I help people turn off autopilot and live on purpose.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. I can't wait to hear more. So tell us a little bit about the problem that you've identified and practical solutions that people can use to either solve or address some of that problem.
Sure. Today, I am going to share with you the secret to getting closure. So, when you have some sort of ending that you've experienced and you are plagued with unanswered questions and you want closure. So that can be excruciating, right? Unanswered questions are like an open loop in our brain that just continues to spin. And this leads to rumination that can be debilitating. We think that we need answers from someone else outside of us to experience this closure. But anytime that we make our emotional state dependent upon someone or something else that's outside of us, it is incredibly disempowering and very frustrating. So, for anyone who is feeling stuck in a flurry of unanswered questions and a desperate need for closure, the good news that I want to offer is that closure isn't something that you have to get. It's actually something that you can create for yourself. And to do this, all you need is a few minutes alone with a pen and paper. So, the first step to giving yourself the gift of closure is always releasing resistance to the situation itself and just accepting the reality of what is. So that means accepting that although this situation may not be what you wanted or what you would have ever chosen, it is what it is. And it happened the way that it happened. And when we are continually looking backward and wishing that things were different, it just keeps us stuck. I'm not suggesting toxic positivity here. I'm not saying to just put a happy face on a crappy situation. An important part of releasing resistance is allowing your emotions to surface. Stop resisting them. Admit and acknowledge your anger or your sadness or your disappointment, whatever it may be. Allow those emotions to be there without distracting yourself from them or judging yourself for having them. Name what it is you're feeling and notice, how does it feel in your body? This is what it means to process your emotions. Your emotions are just energy in motion and they will move through your body. Your thoughts will perpetuate those emotions, though. So, to the extent that you can place all of your focus on your body and the physical sensations that you are experiencing, the more quickly those emotions will move and pass. And then the next step is to write down all of the questions that are spinning in your mind. And then to create closure, answer the questions yourself. And you might be thinking, that's crazy. I don't know the answers. And that's why I have the questions. I hear you. And I have a theory that I employ in my own life, and I want to offer it today to the listeners. Whatever you don't know for certain, you get to decide. So, in the absence of certainty, just decide, what is it that you want to believe here? And then trust in your own wisdom. Finally, the last step is write down the answers and then decide to accept those answers as the truth. And you might be wondering, but what if my answers are wrong? And the thing is, it doesn't matter. There is no absolute truth. Your goal is simply to close that open loop that's spinning in your brain. And your goal is to stop giving the situation free rent in your mind and to redirect your mental energy in more productive ways. You will get better at whatever you practice. So if you keep allowing your mind to spin in questions and stories that are not serving you, then you'll get better at feeling like crap and wasting your own time. If instead you create stories that serve you, and every time your brain travels back to those familiar pathways of questions, you just gently redirect it to the path of your newfound answers, that will close the loop and your mind can rest. This is the work that I do with my clients in my 3-month one-on-one program. We uncover all of the stories that are keeping you stuck in patterns that are not serving you so that you can create new pathways and new results in your life. If you want to change self-defeating patterns and achieve new results, I can help you. You can find me at jenbogard.com if you would like to learn more.
Very cool. Thank you so much for sharing that. So Jen Bogard, that's JEN1NBOGARD. Fabulous. Thank you so much for joining us, Jen. I really appreciate you taking the time. We'll catch up again soon.
My pleasure.
Awesome. So our next guest is Holly Rachel Hughes. Thanks so much for joining us, Holly. Could you share a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. First of all, thank you for having me. I love what you're doing and I love your stories and what you're bringing to people. I am an intuitive healer and an author, and I love helping people through transitional times in their life. I help people get through their different transitions through different programs. You can do individual sessions, or I have a group program called the Real Not Perfect Academy. And really, it's about helping you redefine who you are while loving who you were, so you can manifest the life that you want.
Nice, nice. So just a little bit about the book. You've got a book behind you as well.
Oh yeah, my book is called Real Not Perfect: How to Become Your Happy Authentic Self, and it is a way, and it is a step-by-step process in this book to reclaim your voice, passion, and self-worth. We go into, meaning me, we go into the problems of who are you? Like at every stage of your life, you get a moment to redefine yourself. You're not who you were when you were 8. You're not who you were at 16 or 20. I like to tell people you don't want to use the same toys at 16 as you did when you were 4. So you have to have empathy for the things, the conditioning that you had, or sometimes the trauma that you've been through. And then you let that inform your life, but it doesn't have to define or limit it. Like myself, I've been through some crazy things. Like you talked about, you've had some interesting situations in your life. I know loss. I've lost my home to a fire and an earthquake and a divorce originally when I was younger. I've kind of been there, done that. I know loss from miscarriage. And I think I went through all of these things so that when people show up and they're stuck in the pain and they're stuck in identifying their value as the worst moment in time, that we can actually finish completely healing the ache, not forgetting, right? But understanding and healing and walking away from it, and then filling that space that filled you, that was pain, and give it comfort and dreams and new ambitions and fun, because life is meant to be happy.
Nice, nice. Sounds like an insightful and fascinating book to read. So tell me a little bit about the problem that you've identified and practical solutions that can go to addressing that problem.
Okay, this is my favorite, easy to do tip for everyone. We are all stressed out, right? Like the news around here, especially in the States, is 100% trauma inducing, right? It's stressful. You're not healthy enough. You're not mentally well enough. These people are hurting everyone, and they're always pitting each other against one another. And these are my 3 or 4 super easy steps to help beat stress. Number 1, you have to go outside. Go outside and get your face in the sun. It could be for 5 minutes. You don't have to be an adventurer to be able to do this. You could be any size, shape, or mobility to go outside and unplug from your phone. That is going to be the common thing of all my stress tips. So if you're out there, I want you to just listen to what's going on around you. If you're in a city, it could be conversations. If you are in the country, it could be the sound of the wind in the trees or something coming by you. And it really helps you get yourself out of your own way and out of your spinning thoughts. My number one tip for helping your daily stress is do not plug your phone in next to your bed. Because it's no good for you. And you know what? There's these things called alarm clocks. And I know it's really like analog practically, but if you can get ones that shine on your ceiling, that have noise machines attached to it, but scrolling is doing you no favors. Scrolling is designed, social media is designed to make you feel bad about yourself and to make you nervous. So if you do not plug in your phone by your bed, I'm going to ask you that you do that like 15 minutes before you go to sleep. I do it a minimum of an hour. Whatever is going to come up can wait. Put your phone by your desk, in your kitchen, somewhere you're not going to walk by in the middle of the night to look at. Get an alarm clock and you are going to sleep better. And the second part of that is don't look at your phone for at least 15 minutes after you wake up. Oh, I know you're like, but email, but this, but no, but nothing. If you can go a half hour, it's super important. I was really conscious of this when I have a child when they were younger, because I wanted them to know that they were more important and I was present with them while we were doing the morning stuff. And I was really good at it for a while. And it changes how your day begins. And you will 100% be less stressed that way.
Awesome.
Those
Awesome.
are my tips.
I love them. Where were you when I needed this morning, man? That phone got me out of bed. Awesome. Thank you so much. Holly, how can people reach you? How can our listeners get in touch with you?
Oh, the easiest way to do it is just to go on the web at hollyhughesintuitive.com, and all my social links and everything are there.
Fabulous. Thank you so much for joining us, Holly. I really appreciate you sharing those tips. All right. Bye for now.
Okay.
Our next coach is Jonathan Royal. Would you like to share a little bit about yourself, Jonathan?
Yes, indeed. So my name's Jonathan Royal, although I was born Alex William Smith. I was born into a circus. And by the time I was 14, I became Britain's youngest ever member of the Association of Professional Hypnotherapists and Psychotherapists. That was back in 1989. And for the past 34 years since, I've been helping people to overcome habits, addictions, fears, phobias, improve their life in so many possible ways from A through to Z, which has led to me recently bringing out this book, Shitnosis, helping you to get over the shit in your life and get your shit together. It's the practical techniques to help you overcome habits, addictions, fears, and phobias, stress, anxiety, depression, panic attacks, but also to achieve peak performance for business and personal life. Indeed, all areas of your life, it's in there. And there's wonderful things of these things they call QR codes in there that you can scan that will take you to online video content, like a virtual interactive therapy session. Well, there's dozens of them. So you don't have to go spending stacks of money to see a therapist in person. Now, all problems have underlying reasons, and if you don't deal with them, then you end up either relapsing or getting what they call symptom substitution, which something else manifests differently until you've dealt with those underlying things, which means you need to reprogram your personal desktop computer, your unconscious, subconscious mind. And that's very much what the book is about. But one little tip you can start off using yourself on a daily basis, well, twice a day, is first thing in the morning when you wake up, well, you're still half asleep. It's what they call the hypnopompic state. It's when you're more suggestible because your critical faculty, analytical area of the brain, hasn't woken up yet. So things will go direct into your unconscious. And at night time, just before you go to sleep, it's called the hypnagogic state. It's that yawning just before you transition to sleep. Again, the nightclub doorman of your mind, the critical faculty, analytical areas, gone to sleep, gone for a coffee break, so to speak. So if you give yourself suggestions at that time in the morning, first thing, or at nighttime, last thing, they're more likely to reprogram your personal laptop computer, enabling you to achieve things. So, for example, a great positive affirmation, as simple as it sounds, is one from Émile Coué, a French guy who created auto-suggestion, which is to say, day by day, in every way, I'm feeling and getting better and better. Now, that's not a quantifiable thing. So your conscious mind can't go, well, that's not true. It's not happening. Because you're not claiming that you're an overnight millionaire or anything. You're just saying you're getting better and better. So your unconscious mind can accept it without resistance. And then it will start to look for proof that that's happening. And any little win in daily life, if it's finding 1 pence on the floor, or whether it's doing great in a conversation, doesn't matter what it is, however small, but because it's realistic, the suggestions you've been giving yourself, your unconscious will grasp hold of it and go, yeah, that's another signpost that this is working. So day by day, in every way, you will be getting better and better, and that suggestion will be amplified and grow stronger. So after, say, 30 days, you'll be able to look back and go, wow, I can't believe how far I've gone. But the key is you've got to start remembering, I'm running out of time, but remembering that the grass is not greener on the other side. Too many external things in life, other people's social media, stuff in the newspapers. It's false. It's not reality. The only thing you should be doing is competing with yourself and watering the positive seeds of the thoughts in your mind on a daily basis. And it's best done in the morning when you wake up and at night just before you go to sleep. And indeed, I put a free interactive virtual hypnotherapy treatment video on my website, magicalguru.co.uk. That's magicalguru.co.uk. My career resume is there, but if you go about halfway down the page, there's an interactive virtual hypnotherapy treatment video that costs you nothing and will help you overcome habits, addictions, fears, and phobias without even needing to buy my book. Try the video first. When you're impressed by that, then jump on Amazon and buy Shit Gnosis, helping you get over the shit in your life and get your shit together, by me, Jonathan Royle. That's Jonathan. Royle is R-O-Y-L-E. Believe in yourself.
Awesome. Awesome. I love it. Yeah, time to burn as well. Congrats on that. That was brilliant. I'm looking forward to using that tip. And I love the evidence behind it. I love how you structure that. Well done, Jonathan. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me on the show.
Thank you for
Can't wait to get this out there. Awesome. Thanks for that. Bye for now.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you again for joining me on this episode of Big Life Mindset. Once again, if you're looking for leadership coaching and you want to move your business from where it is into where you want it to be, or you're looking at coaching as an individual and you're looking at setting higher goals and achieving those while reducing burnout, stress, and overwhelm, then please contact me. You can find a link in the show notes, or you can contact me directly on biglifemindset@gmail.com. That's biglifemindset@gmail.com. Simply put coffee chat in the subject header and we can pick it up from there. All right, thanks again, and we'll catch up soon. Bye for now.